Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is an SU-100i. It's a Tier 5 premium Soviet tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Ruinberg, and it's under the command of GenFUBAR of 1AR. And unfortunately we can't see which equipment he's actually carrying, but I'm sure he'll advise us in the comments. Game underway. Well, basically, if you look at this vehicle and ignore the gun, it looks like an M4 without its turret, and that's precisely what it was supposed to be. An alternative use for the M4s with a 100mm gun. Now that 100mm is capable of doing 250 alpha and 175mm pen with standard AP. With the APCR, that goes up to 235mm. And considering this is tier 5, it's a giant killer. Yeah, it's a tiny little tank which hasn't got much armor, but it does have a whopping great gun and the ability to take down enemy units with great ease. Now the standard reload is 9.49 seconds, and we can see in this game that GenFUBAR has actually got a reload of 7.75. Look at that, first shot went right through, and he got a hit on the Cavalier. The Cavalier's not feeling so happy now. Now he's looking at SU-85 in the distance. Oh, and he wiped that guy out. Got him completely, got his first kill. In fact, he got the first kill in the game altogether. You remember back in the day, this used to be the sniping area that you would go to on this map if you were facing the enemy. And another hit, this time on a Wolverine, but it's a low roll, only for 217. Yes, you ever went on to down to the corner to the city, you'd snipe the enemy from here, and he's got his second kill. Of course, the enemy soon learned that you were doing this, and then they start planting shells into the gap. Even if they couldn't actually see you, they still try and hit you. Well, that Cavalier's taken another hit. Now he's a one-shot, and he's wisely pulled back for the moment, but I don't think he's smart enough not to recognize that he should be pulling back altogether. Just saw an enemy tank go from the right as well, so maybe there's more, and he's got his third kill. A Chinu trying to maneuver as he's coming towards us, but not going to help him, and he takes another hit. I should actually point out the HE rounds on this gun are also capable of 330 alpha, but only 50mm pen. But there are some enemy tanks out there in a tier 5 game with tier 4 tanks that he could pen with 50mm, like that one. Standard AP just seems to be so easy to win. And they're 2 up on the enemy now, and it's mostly down to him because he's got 4 of the kills. So 2/3 of the enemy kills are his. And the BDR's just gone down. The only enemy we can see now is a BT7. He's up the other end of the main road. And so we're actually cutting straight across. Oh, there's an M801 to our left. We might be about to take some damage. Yeah, we have. He should have thought about that. So we took some unnecessary damage there from the M8A1, and from the looks of it, it was a 3-inch shell. That's about 110 alpha. We've been spotted again. I think it's the BT7 that saw us. But look at this, the M8A1 having a sneaky look around the corner, thinking, can I get some shots into this guy whilst he's not looking? It might be better for him to actually go over the other side of the street. He'll get shots on the BT7 and he'll be safe from the M8A1 so long as the guy doesn't come up behind him. Okay, the BT7 trying to get behind him at the moment. No, can't get that way because the M10. He's out the game. I think you're better off actually going this direction. Keep going straight. Don't try to go up the main road. Just go straight. Go after the chappie and try and intercept him at the next corner. And in fact, there's the M8A1, and he bounced around off our armor. Love to know where that shell bounced. But now the M8A1 should die. Well, he takes a big hit, a low roll for 249, but he does get another 3-inch shell into us. We can take another. He can't. And that's the end of his game. There's only 3 enemies remaining, and we've now got 5 kills, so a Top Gun is very much on the cards. There's a chappie on the other, just around the corner. He's still trying to come south. Oh, here he comes. But he's only got 15 hit points, so he might be taken out by a teammate, and he is. And in fact, happens to be the P-43 who gets him. So now, oh, we can't get any more kills because the game is over. It's all over. Here's the end of battle stats, and that's the first ace tanker for GenFUBAR of 1AR in the SU-100i. Congratulations. When you get the scrolls underneath the M like that, it's the first time you did it, so well done. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. In fact, he ended up getting 5, one short of getting a Top Gun, 1/3 of the enemy team. He also got a sharpshooter for taking 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy, as a master gunner for getting 5 armor penetrating shots in a row, and a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. He did get the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and it's not really surprising considering how deadly this tank is. He also got the tank sniper for doing the most damage at a distance of 300 meters or more. And yes, you tend to need to do that because the armor on this is basically M4 armor, which means that if the enemy does manage to strike any part of your hull, most of them are more than likely going to let the shell through, unless of course they hit the mantlet or any parts near the gun. So yes, it is a perforous tank, but the best thing to do is shoot at the enemy from a distance. And with the 100mm gun, which is reasonably accurate, you're more likely going to do a lot of damage. We can't see the Win 8 because unfortunately data was not available on this occasion, but I can reasonably attest that the Win 8 would have been very high. Would have been Super Unicum for certain, even though he didn't get the Top Gun in the end. But he certainly did enough damage to get the ace tanker, so that would put it Super Unicum for starters. Anyway, let's have a look at team score. Highest damage was 2,252 hit points, beating the chappie, who only managed 1,530, and then the Panzerwehr H. Anjou, who managed 1,087. They were the only 3 players who actually managed to get over 1,000 hit points rather in the entire game. And yeah, he comprehensively beat that Anjou because he had 2.25 the damage. When it came to kills, again, he got the highest with 5. 4 kills went to the chappie, and 3 kills went to the P-43 on his own team and the Stug 3 Ausführung B. And the P-43 picked up a Spartan and a steel wall in that game, so obviously he was bouncing quite a few shots. When it came to base XP, he's got that one too. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 965 went to GenFUBAR, and the second highest was the P-43 with 601, followed by the Cavalier, who managed 549. He fired only 10 shots, but every shot hit the target and every shot penetrated. So that's accuracy, 100% accuracy in the game. But it does kind of tell you that the 100mm gun is very deadly to enemy tanks. So long as you let it line up on target, then normally it's going to go right through. So yes, perfect shooting. 2,252 hit points of damage, of which 1,274 were at more than 300 meters. So half and half on damage. 3 hits received from the enemy, 2 penetrations, 1 non-penetrations. Both penetrations came from the M8A1, and he did have, as I say, 1 non-penetration in the game. 110 hit points of damage blocked by armor. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 5 killed, and he got 87,464 credits profit on a free-to-play account, including a 55,000 bonus credit mission completion. And he also picked up 2,187 experience points out of that one as well. Remember, this is a premium vehicle, so it is one that you can actually earn quite a bit more on. So it's very much worthwhile, actually, to get one of these. His game only lasted 5 minutes and 30 seconds, and I'd say one of the reasons why it was so short was the fact that he was tearing them apart. In fact, he was the only one who actually got any kills. Well, he was the first kill was his, and as I said, during the battle, 2/3 of the enemy kills were down to him during the game. And of course, it turned out in the end that he got 1/3 of the enemy team with his entire haul. So very well played indeed. This is not the only battle we've got with GenFUBAR, though. We've got another one. So let's have a look at the second battle and see if he does as well as he does in this one. The second game is on the south spawn of Fisherman's Bay, and it's a tier 5 game only. Game on. Now, the SU-100i never got built. They didn't actually go ahead and do it. It was just a paper exercise. So the vehicle is a real design, but just never put forward. Almost like you can say the SU-85i is also a paper design, because, of course, that was supposed to be a premium tank that was designed to be a re-engineered Stug from the Germans that captured by the Soviets and then turned it into a Soviet vehicle with a Soviet gun, an 85mm gun, instead of the Stug's normal 75mm. Now, sitting where he is, he's actually too close, really, to fire the gun without getting spotted. If the enemy does appear suddenly, he's going to see him, and they're going to see him. So he's going to have to pull back quickly to get below the ridgeline, otherwise he's going to take some damage. And there's more than likely going to be somebody who's looking in this direction already, and oh, he'll definitely have that one. And the Wolverine goes down, but he didn't get spotted. Amazing. Normally I would expect you to get spotted. He sees the leopard. The shell dropped. Unfortunately, it didn't go directly at the leopard, and he wasn't able to get that one on target, but he's going to have another go, I think. Well, he's decided that the leopard is side on, or rather has angled in such a way that the shell can't hit him. I probably would have taken that shot just on the off chance that the shell would skim over the ridgeline and go straight into the side. He did take the shot in the end, but he decided to pull back. I think he probably didn't want to trust his chances more than once. The Wolverine, or a different Wolverine's appeared. There's the, the guy did try to do it again. And now our A20 is in a bit of a pickle because he's stuck behind that rock. And if those guys come around the corner, they could damage him, especially the AT2. In fact, it looks to me like the AT2 and the Leopard want to get at him. They're taking huge amounts of damage from our teammates at the moment. There doesn't appear to be any enemy tanks in the center at all. Okay, AT2's making a grave error. That one hit him in the tracks, so it's a critical hit only. And that long reload really stopped us getting another shell into the AT2. Leopard coming up. That would be nice if he did. He's a one-shot. He would go out the game and provide us with our first kill. Because we didn't get the Wolverine with our last shot. Will we get this one? He's moving. Oh, no, we don't get him, but we get the Wolverine behind him. Oh, yes, it's a one-shot. So that's a kill. That's a good kill. Now, the AT2 is a two-shot for sure. We'll never get through that with just HE, and he's trying. Keeps pushing up to the rock. The A20 is attracting his attention. Unfortunately, the enemy's broken through on the city, and now they're coming up behind us. And the first tank we see is a BT-42, and that's the tank with the BT-7 with the big 4.5-inch howitzer. which is actually quite deadly. You don't want to get one of them behind you. Oh, lovely pen on the KV-1, but it's a low roll. I give it another go, just in case he's still there, but we can't see him. He does exactly that. There's a T1 to the left. No chance of a shot on him. But the M10, we can see him. Go for him for sure. No shot there. Oh, we can hit the M4A1. And yet that hits his turret. And he's sensible enough to pull back. And the Panzerwehr. Oh, we've still got a shot. No, unfortunately, the accuracy let us down there. Looks like our teammates having a good job. Oh, it's another one. That's two. He does like this 100mm gun. I can tell GenFUBAR's really thinking this is one of those tanks at tier 5 which has got tremendous damage. And he gets another one. Except he didn't get it. The T1 Heavy was taken down by the Wolverine. And that BT-42 is coming for us. He's actually coming for us. He's going for the rear. That one hit whatever was in the way. We have to address this guy. We could get an easy kill here, though. Oh! Well, yes, he does. And the Dakota? Trying to remember the name of that vehicle. But yes, I think it is a Dakota. But the BT-42 is easier to call. 4.5 inch gun, 450 Alpha. The same as the Burt, or as the Bishop, or as any of the other Arty that actually has that 4.5 inch. Very deadly, very fast reload as well. That's why you can't allow one of them to get into the enemy rear, because they'll just sit there blasting away or putting holes into enemy tanks. Okay, yep, oh. Just missed out on the M10, but he might still get a shot into the turret. Now, I pulled back just in case you were spotted. Yes, he did, good. He wasn't spotted. I think he was double bushed, actually. But it was a wise precaution, just in case. Enemy Arty standing near us. Ah, he's actually on us. He knows exactly where we are, and he was firing into the bush trying to get us. Only 12 hit points, though. But it's the only damage we've had so far. Now, their Wolverine on the other side of the map is badly damaged, and so is their KV-1. We could head towards the cap and try and wipe them out. Yep, the enemy RT is now trying to get the Panzerwehr. He's looking around whilst he's actually moving back, trying to work out where he should actually go. The AT-2's advancing. Our Panzerwehr's about to die. As soon as that RT sees where we are, the Bishop, I think it must be the Bishop who's firing. He'll try and get a shot on us. Well, I'm amazed that the Panzerwehr has managed to survive this long. We're blind firing that house at the moment. The good thing about this tank is it does have 30 rounds of ammunition, which is plenty. He's not going to get a 100% record this time, though, for his accuracy, because he has fired a few rounds, which are just blind shots. Here we go. Well, he tracked him. Pulled back behind cover. Unfortunately, that just tells the enemy we're here, and now the enemy Arty's going to know we're here as well. And I expect the Arty shells to start raining in very shortly. How did I know? How did I know? Yeah, well, it's years of experience tell me that the moment Arty sees, oh, tank destroyer, I love that. It's kind of in my nature, you might say. And yes, that one was well on target. So he got that one bang on, and he ought to beware about knocking trees down at this point, because of course If he does knock a tree down, the enemy Arty is probably going to see it. And he does knock one down. Does he actually doing that for a dummy? We've lost the Panzerwehr. There's 3 tanks left on our team. We're outnumbered 2-1. The AT-2 still there. He's knocking more trees down to confuse the enemy. But again, it does give the enemy a clue as to where we are. I would expect some of the shells. The shells are going for the M10 at the moment. It looks like the shells are directed at him. Of course, he's right next door to the bunker. And it's difficult to get a shot because that bunker is very, very, well, it's well positioned. If you're firing from over on the east side of the map towards the west side, it kind of blocks the shots. You have to be kind of lucky to get a shot on target. The AT-2, he's still using something for cover. I'm surprised the KV-1 and the Wolverine haven't started capping. Maybe they're too scared of that Wolverine that we've got on our team. Yep, still going after the M10. I can see why GenFUBAR decided to stay over this side rather than actually going over to the other side to kill the KV-1. If he had actually gone over to that side, I think he would have been able to drive all the way up to the north and find the, or go past and start killing the enemy tanks in the rear. Okay, now you can get your shell on the cupola, but with a 100mm, you'd go straight through the armor as well. But he did get spotted, and so the Bishop's about to unload. Yep. Our Wolverine doesn't appear to be doing much at the moment, so I think we'll help this get rid of this Panzerwehr. It's going to take at least 2 shots to get rid of him, though. He's right on that corner. He is coming south, yeah. He can't see us, and we now know where the Bishop is. Let's take this Panzerwehr first. That one hit the tracks. We'd have to do it again. That's definitely struck. Okay, we're going to have to try a blind shot now. Oh, KV-1's on the move. He's a one-shot. I take him out first. The Panzerwehr's gone. There goes the KV-1. That's 4 kills. He did get spotted. Enemy Arty. Oh! That was so unlucky. 2 at once. And it was the SU-122A, not the Bishop, who actually hit him. And he hit him on the rear. And it went straight through the armor. And he really didn't stand a chance. But we've got 2 players still in the game. And the hit points suggest they could do this. Because it's a Wolverine and an M10 up against an AT-2 who's badly damaged, a Wolverine, and 2 Arty. And despite the fact that the Bishop seems to be quite good, the SU-122 got a lucky shot there. It wasn't him who got the kill, the Wolverine did, but he must have taken most of the hit points. Well, he did, didn't he? 380 hit points. And he said, GenFUBAR says, sorry guys, I tried. And unfortunately, the M10 has gone down. Oh, this is not so good now. Anyway, let's have a look. And there goes the AT-2. He was a one-shot. The Wolverine needs to move. Change position. Don't stay in the same place. Any sniper will tell you that. Once you've actually fired from a one place, you must change your position. If you don't, you're inviting the enemy to blind fire that spot and get a kill. There's the Bishop. Okay, shall we? Oh, we have joined. And now we're with the Wolverine. He's got 1 hit. But the Bishop's now setting up for a shot. Change position or you'll get hit. he's ignoring that, and unfortunately I think that's why any second now he's going to get smacked by that bishop. The bishop knows exactly where he is. And we're now into the last minute. Now the enemy can sense that they might get a victory out of this, and I wouldn't be surprised if the SU-122A is moving up closer. There's the bishop, and yes, he did fire in on the spot, landed behind us. So now he's changing position, but I think this is probably going to end up as a draw. He's done the right thing, changed position. Ideally, he would actually go hunting the bishop right now. If I would drive up to that tree line to the left and then shoot at the bishop from the right, because he's obviously just behind the tree line. We can't see anyone off to the right. So it's just the bishop that's in front of him. Oh, the Wolverine got very close and he was a one-shot. Here's the end of battle stats, and despite the fact that he did manage to get a lot of damage on the enemy, he did only get a first class in that one, but it was a good game nonetheless. He was let down by the fact that he could have actually moved to the east side of the map and taken out the KB1 and the Wolverine that was over that side, and possibly the Arty that was over there, which was, of course, the SU-122A. And that might have actually changed the nature of the battle. It was a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than hit points for his own vehicle. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5 exactly. And in this game, he did get the high caliber, but didn't get any other medals, I'm afraid. And again, no win 8, which is unfortunate because it would have shown us that this was a Super Unicum game again, twice in a row. I'm pretty certain of it. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, the highest damage was 1,850 hit points this time, but the closest other player was in fact the BT-42, which was in fact 1,573 hit points. And the third highest damage in this one turned out to be the T1 Heavy, 1,382. But he was a nice kill, actually, as he poked his head around that corner to the gap to try and shoot through the gap. And, of course, GenFUBAR was actually waiting for that. And when he did, bang, it was a case of you're out the game. And when it came to kills, he's definitely got that, but he shares it, actually, with 2 others. He got 4 kills, so did the BT-42 and the Wolverine, although he was badly wounded at the end of the game. He only had 10 hit points left at the end, but of course, GenFUBAR had nothing. He was out the game. And when it came to third place, or second place, we could say, the Wolverine on our team got 3 kills. The last guy alive on our team, and 2 kills went to the AT2 on the enemy team. And when it came to base XP, we can see that the scorer in this one was the BT-42. 610 base experience points to him. 556 went to GenFUBAR, and 508 went to the T1 Heavy. He fired 22 rounds in this game, so he still had 8 rounds left at the end of that one. 13 direct hits on the enemy, 10 penetrations, so there was a few blind shots in there that he tried just blind firing just in case the people were at the other end of the row. 1,850 hit points of damage, of which 995 were at more than 300 meters, so about half and half again on the damage. 2 hits received, both penetrations, I'm afraid, and 1 hit by way of splash. Well, they were big hits as well, 380 hit points. That was an engine deck penetration for the SU-122. So very nice for him, but not so nice in this case for GenFUBAR. 7 enemy vehicles damaged, 4 killed, and 24 hit points of damage assistance. On a premium count, he actually earned 38,610 credits on this one, which is not bad, especially considering that, well, he didn't get any bonuses, but he did get the Courageous Resistance because it was a draw at the end and he did get a medal. He also picked up 1,848 experience points out of this one as well, including Courageous Resistance of 486. If you don't know what the Courageous Resistance is, it's a reward for getting a medal in a losing or drawn game, because the wargaming wants to bump up your score, because you should have, if you'd won the game, you would have got a much higher score overall, and you deserve to win because you actually got a medal. But because you were in a losing or drawn game, you missed out on getting that bonus, the extra bonus for being on the winning team. And so they make it up to you because you got a medal. And it's any battle hero medal or any of the other medals that are available. Then yes, you get the extra bonus. So I hope you enjoyed both of those games. It's really nice to actually get two games which are very interesting, with a kind of interesting tank, actually, the SU-100i. It doesn't have much in the way of armor, as you saw. And once he did get hit by two people with big caliber guns, it was the end of him. Well, not big caliber. The Wolverine wasn't big caliber, but the SU-122 was a 152mm shell. And that certainly did a lot of damage to him. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.